Hey guys.
Hello everyone. Look, I'm not running around today. I think I have all of our problems solved.
Jen is seated. That is amazing.
It's a miracle. So it's live on Monday with Jen and Lalani. We have some fun stuff to talk to you about today.
Oh, hey Jess. And
Hi.
Chase.
Oh, Chase. Look, I get so excited every time
So
he chimes in.
today we are talking about some awesome things. First off, we're gonna talk a little bit about what's coming up on our blog this week. We have some fun things planned. And we're also going to talk about our weekend first to get started. So, what did you guys...
Lalani thinks that you guys want to know what we did all weekend.
Well, I don't really know that, but in the interest of trying to get to know you all, we thought we'd tell you what we did this weekend.
And then you tell us what you did, because then maybe I want to do that too. Brooklyn, what are you saying? Can you tell me some quick instructions for what McKenna and I have to do?
Not right now.
My children have no, Brooklyn, I can't tell you right now. Sort through it and we'll figure it out in about 30 minutes.
So this weekend, what did you do, Jen, this weekend?
I am new to the world of club sports. And so Kennedy had her first tournament. So I lived...
Soccer tournament.
Yeah, soccer tournament. I lived in Phoenix with games that were super spread out. One 7 o'clock Friday night, one 9 a.m. Saturday, and one 5 p.m. Saturday. Which, thank goodness, I grew up right by where Reach 11 is in Phoenix. And so I kind of just hung out with my family. And it really wasn't too bad. It was kind of nice.
The weather here in Phoenix has gotten significantly better. So it's like, I don't know, it was in the high 90s this weekend, which was amazing.
It still felt mother hot at 5 o'clock on Saturday.
But it's not like it was. So we were glad for that.
I'm over it.
We had a soccer tournament as well this weekend. And we won.
So mom duties, a lot of mom duties
yeah,
this
mom
weekend.
Stuff. But we can feel fall in the air this morning, so it was in the 60s. So
I know it's getting there.
let us know what you guys did. We were really, really curious to know what you guys were up to this weekend. Okay, so on the blog for the week, we have our little handy dandy notebook here just to keep us on track.
Who knows what that's from? Handy dandy notebook. Come on, someone spit it out, Brooklyn. You should know.
I don't even know what that's from, and I just said it.
Dora. That shows that moms watch way too much cartoons and don't even know what we're watching.
It's true. We watched...
With her backpack and her handy dandy notebook.
We're going to talk about backpacks today as well.
Yeah,
So this week, coming up on the blog, we are going to talk about California road trips.
Yes, which summer has just ended, but it's fall break. California is actually amazing if that's where you're going to take one. Yeah.
So beautiful. And so
Oh, Jesus, right. Sorry to interrupt. It was Blue's Clues, not Dora.
Oh,
now do you remember?
Jessica said Blue's Clues.
Yeah, so did Chase.
No, I didn't watch
Good
Blue's
job,
Clues.
Chase.
My kids hated that show.
It was Handy Dandy Notebook. That's right.
We
Blue's
watched
Clues.
Dora, but not Blue's Clues.
That's why you didn't know it.
Yeah.
Okay, I stand corrected.
Thanks,
Blue's
guys.
Clues it was.
Jess and Chase. So back to road trips. So we are going to talk about going down Highway 1 in California specifically, which for those of you who are our East Coast friends or may not be as familiar, Highway 1 is the coastal highway that runs from Canada to Mexico, and a big section of it obviously cuts through California.
Which it's so beautiful, so fun to drive.
So beautiful. So we're going to give you all of our tips and tricks for planning a road trip down the California coast, where to stay, where to eat, what to do.
Let's be honest, Lalani is going to give you a lot of these tips this week. I just will tell you some stories.
Yeah, Jen's going to tell you a couple stories. So why don't you tell us the story now? Where's your favorite place to go
California.
on the California coast?
Well, honestly, I feel like you really can't go wrong in a lot of places, but my two aren't even going to be like the most beautiful. I love Oceanside because the entire Gilbert Nation relocates to Oceanside during the summer, and I love anywhere that there's a ton of people for my kids to play with, because that means I can actually sit on the beach and read a magazine without hearing my name every 20 seconds. They're all happy. So I love Oceanside because there's always people there, and I know my kids have guaranteed play friends. And then we went to La Jolla just recently. My son was home.
La Jolla is beautiful.
Yeah, La Jolla is beautiful. We went to La Jolla, stayed at the Ponte Inn, which I loved. It was a little house, like tons of room. But we went kayaking and there was seals, and it was even earlier in the year. We went in May, which is a little bit too cold in California for me, and there was a ton to do. And so La Jolla actually is at the top of my faves. I love to kayak, so.
Technically, neither of those actually can be reached by Highway 1 because they're too far south.
Did you know?
Did you know? And those are in San Diego area and amazing, great places to be. So we actually are going to focus a little further north up the California coast to some of the places that you can reach on Highway 1.
Right.
So I actually really, really, really love Northern California. My dad is from Lake Tahoe. I probably said that before. And so
I've never even been to Lake Tahoe.
Oh my gosh. Have you guys been to Lake Tahoe? Please say yes.
Do you ever feel like your list of places to go is so long that you literally should quit all other responsibilities to try to get through that list?
Every day.
That's me too.
But we can't.
I don't know. I don't really know how. She thinks we look awesome together.
Oh, that's very nice because 5 minutes ago
You should have actually seen Lalani 5 minutes ago. I made her brush her hair. It's true.
How many days will this be? So it's actually built off of like a 4-day trip is kind of what we suggest for maybe 5 days. So just a long weekend. And we'll be posting our first post up tonight. So that'll be on the blog tonight. And that'll actually have the itinerary, and then we're going to break it down a little bit more from there. So,
and the good thing about these posts is you can always go back. So say you are getting ready to plan a trip. If you remember, oh, I saw that on Six Little Birds website, you can go back, search in California, or a lot of times if it's, only been a couple months, it will still be on the homepage. You can just scroll until you find it. And then you can usually find places to eat, things to do, tips, tricks.
Places to stay.
That are just easy to add into your itinerary. Or kind of just go over and make sure you're not missing anything.
It's true.
So
like I said, my dad's from Lake Tahoe, and so as a little girl, we would go up and see kind of where he was from and his family and all that stuff. And then my dad loves to drive, so he will drive anywhere for as long as possible. So we would oftentimes kind of go to Tahoe and then hit the coast and go different places. So San Francisco, the Redwoods, Santa Cruz.
You love the Redwoods.
I love the Redwoods. They're so beautiful. Mendocino, so all these places. And so we're going to talk a little bit. There's so many cool little nooks and crannies in California and small, fun little towns that it's just so diverse. There's so many things to see. More than the beach, more than the big cities, lots of stuff.
Will your itinerary include hotels?
It does include hotels. So
Lalani's are good choices too, because it's never too luxury, but she's super picky about where she sleeps. So it's like a good value, but super clean. You can trust her. You're not going to find any of those bed bugs everyone talked about last week in the hotels Lalani stays in.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, I tried. So
I know.
Sometimes they're not the best value.
Yeah, sometimes you got to give a little value for a clean bed.
Yes, it's true. Okay, so it's a little bit about California coast. Why do you love road trips, Jen? We had some questions about why we love road trips, because not everybody does. I get that. But
I'm like a 50-50, to be honest with you. Sometimes I love road trips for the convenience of having my own car.
True.
And if we are in no hurry and we want to stop and see stuff along the way. I have a good friend who literally will not travel with us on the road. Like, they will meet us there because we stop way too much. Mm-hmm. Like a normal trip that takes 6 hours, takes the Hildebrands, double that.
Why? What do you do?
I like to drink a lot, so I have to stop a lot.
She likes to drink water.
Oh.
Let's clarify.
Starbucks or juice or whatever I have.
That's what she likes to drink.
I'm a snacker. I drink a ton of not alcoholic beverages on vacations with my children. Anyways, we just stop a lot. And so it's great. If we're in no hurry, it's great. But if you couldn't pay me money to drive to like Alaska with my children, I would rather shoot myself in the foot. No, thank you.
Like, do you guys stop and get out to eat every meal? Or do you drive through? Or do you what do you do?
I don't know, it depends. Like, if it's the middle of the night, or if it's getting later, or if no one really has to go to the bathroom, which never happens, then we might hit a drive-through and keep going. Mm. But we're slow travelers. Our road trips take a long time. But like, California is a no-brainer. It's just right there. Like, it's better to have your own car. It saves money on airfare.
It's true.
So I don't know.
The thing that I love about road trips is that you can really see. So even
that is so
like
true.
I like to like see and touch it and get out, and if there's like a cool little store or bakery or fruit stand
Or like a big huge paper mache dinosaur that you maybe want to try to climb on and take a picture with.
Or that too. Or any of those things,
Surprised.
I want to be able to stop and get out. Like I don't want to have to wait for the next train station, or if you fly, sometimes you miss those things. So I like to be able to like really, really see it and like stop when I want. I don't want anybody telling me when I'm stopping. Although I do love to fly because sometimes you have to fly.
Sometimes you just need to get there.
It's true.
Speedy quick.
But I do like to road trip.
And road trips are better for us at this point. My kids are older. So my youngest is 10. So now you pop on movies, they bring their stuff, read books. It's pretty uneventful. Like I don't have kids screaming. And now they only ask, when are we going to be there? 20 times instead of 5,000.
Yep.
So it's getting better.
It's true. When I was a kid, my dad like will drive, and then he wants to like stop and like sit down and eat.
Look at
What?
2 tenderfoot tourists just said they like to find places to picnic, which is a great idea too.
You know what? We did that in Belgium actually, which we had to fly to get to Belgium.
But then they road tripped all around Belgium.
Road tripped all around. And that was one of our favorite meals. Was we went to the grocery store and we bought like all this awesome stuff that you can only really find in Europe, and we had picnic kind of in the middle of a Belgian field.
Yeah, I think I would have just been trying to find the Belgian waffle places for every single meal.
We got that for dessert.
So yummy.
It was really good.
So that is a good part, is that you can pack your own food and stop, have a picnic.
You have a
See
bigger
something
variety.
beautiful. You can have a picnic with the paper mache dinosaurs. That, if you drive around Arizona, there's a lot of them.
Oh my gosh. I've never stopped at the paper mache dinosaur.
Well,
FYI.
you should.
Apparently I'm missing out.
Grant would love it.
He might love it. That's probably why we didn't stop.
I guarantee I can dig out some pictures. I'll find those paper mache dinosaurs.
Okay. So anyways, when I was a kid, my dad like had to stop and eat in these restaurants. And then we got married and I was with Nate and I was like, okay, it's time to eat. Like, let's stop. And he's like, we don't sit down on road trips. So now we've been married almost 17 years and we hybrid. Sometimes we sit down, sometimes we drive through, sometimes it's like counter.
Compromise, that's what marriage is all about.
It's true. So,
compromise.
Okay, so what are some of your essentials that you have to have on
Road trip, well, I gotta have snacks.
And
I gotta have drinks. And we have to have movies. I am all about a paper map.
Yes, I love.
Which it's so easy to just get on Amazon and just order a few things before you go to just throw in your car.
We have an atlas. Like that was when I was always a navigator when I was a little kid. And so I always had my dad's like big atlas. Did you guys have atlases in your car as a kid?
We had that like bound book of maps.
Yep. And we had that. And I used to love to like not just look at where we were going, but I like to look at like all the places.
All the places.
And memorize like the capitals.
Here's a fun fact for you. When I was in high school, I worked at the Best Western Reservation Call Center. And I was really good at reading maps because people would call and be like, I want to stay at 17 Best Westerns across the whole entire United States. And so you'd like start where they were and then you'd plot the Best Westerns. Look at that. That's where I learned to read maps. That's a did you know?
That
Jen
is
was
a fun fact right there.
I know, but that's literally how I learned to read maps. And now when I plan big trips, I still order big paper maps. When we did our New England road trip, I planned it off of a paper map.
So
it's
true.
the way to go.
I do the same thing. And we have an atlas in our car to this day. And sometimes I'll like turn off all the electronics and we'll play like different map games, like highest spot in Vermont, or I don't know. We'll think of stuff and my kids have to find it.
So I'm like, that's an essential for me, is having a map, just in case you never know when phones are going to quit working or
it's true.
Whatever. We also like, which we haven't done it in years, but we like to download a book that my kids will listen to. So I remember traveling from Utah with my grandpa and he played Phantom of the Opera. And we could barely wait to get back in the car to continue listening to it over the radio. I loved it. So I'm like, that's a great thing to do with your kids too. They're trapped. They have nothing. They can't go anywhere. So it's a good time to put a novel on, a book, maybe a classic, and have them listen to it. And I think it's interesting to see how engaged they become. So
that's a really good idea.
That's a good thing.
So that
also,
playlist.
Hold on. First aid kit, because I'm safety girl. And 2, you have to have a knife.
Or a Gerber tool. Even better.
Yeah, like good old-fashioned pocket knife.
She wants like...
You never know what you're gonna need it for. And here's a funny thing. So my dad always, Cracker Barrel, you can rent books on DVD and then return.
Oh,
I didn't
Jess,
know that.
You are the smartest person I know today.
See, Lalani loves you.
I love you, I do.
My dad's carried a pocket knife since I was a kid. And I cannot tell you how many times I've said, Dad, can I borrow your knife? Dad, can I borrow your knife? I swear it comes out. Like just opening packages, like cutting something off in the car, like whatever. They just come in handy. And so I teased my husband one day because he didn't have a knife. And I was like, I thought
Not
all
prepared. Real
men carried knives. You don't have one? So now my husband has like 500 knives.
You
So
rectified that problem real quick.
I am not kidding. It's hilarious. He does never. But it's constant.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, hey, can I borrow your knife for a second? So that's something I just throw to my center console. And it really does come in handy.
It does come in handy.
So that's my essential. Oh, and an umbrella. Don't forget an umbrella.
You ain't a man unless you always have a knife. Yes, Chase. Word.
You ain't a man unless you always have a knife. I know. See, that's what I've been teaching you. You're a good kid.
Your mama taught you right, apparently.
So that's it for me. Umbrella, because, you know, especially if it's
kit.
like, yeah.
Wipies, wet wipes.
Wet wipes.
All the time. We have a pack in our
Always.
car because those come in handy for lots
sure.
of things. Umbrella, sunscreen. You know what? The other thing is that we have, okay, so this is kind of random, but we always have scissors because sometimes I read this really scary story about this
Is it going to be the seatbelt story?
Yes.
I read it too.
about this kid getting tangled up in the seatbelt.
You can also use a knife for that.
That's true. So we always carry scissors in our car to cut.
Yeah, the kid got stuck in his seatbelt. I don't remember exactly how it went, but they couldn't, like, car was on fire. I'm probably making this up.
No,
I don't
they
remember what the story
struggled
was.
so bad that it like strapped them in and they couldn't get out because it had tightened up. It had locked up on
It was
them.
like an emergency situation, though.
Yes, and they had to
And then they had to
them out.
cut the seatbelt.
So carry like a knife or scissors
Yes.
in your car just in case. You'll be covered if you do that.
Yeah.
On a road trip.
It will come in handy, guarantee it.
in life.
Amazon.
Just, in
Just
general.
order that right off Amazon as soon as this is over.
Okay, last item. This is our like travel product for the day. Oh, this is my favorite.
Oh, Leilani
I
loves
love
it.
this. This is my backpack. So, this is my Lululemon backpack. I love it.
It doesn't have to be
It doesn't
Lululemon,
have to be Lululemon,
but that's Leilani's favorite.
I've traveled with lots of backpacks, and this one I have to say is my favorite for a lot of reasons. We're not gonna look in it because it's super dirty currently, but it has like little pockets and
Good for water bottles.
inside there's like lots of pockets.
Phones.
But yeah, there's stuff in there. It hasn't been unloaded from Disneyland. But the reason we love, hi, Christy. Yes, see, Nash. There was the story. Nash. Yeah, okay. Now I
Oh, he
remember.
almost suffocated.
Yeah, from the seatbelt. So our friend Christy just reminded us of the story that the seatbelt tightened down on him, and his grandma had to go get the scissors and cut him out. So
We don't want that to happen.
no, so carry scissors in your console so that.
Or a knife.
Thanks, Chris. You always.
Yeah, because I turned the story into like the car was on fire.
No, I knew it wasn't.
There was emergency. There was dogs running everywhere, and bears were coming,
Still
and they needed the scissors quick,
Yeah.
or everyone was going to perish
No,
in the fire.
that wasn't the story.
In the fire,
Now we have the real story.
because there was an earthquake.
Oh my gosh.
No, that's right.
Okay, so anyways, backpack. So the cool thing about traveling with backpack, the other awesome thing about this particular Lululemon backpack is that when I bought it, it had this little pouch. You can see there's like a zipper here, and there was a little pouch that was attached to the front, which I thought was kind of hideous, but it unzipped and it turned into like this little crossbody pursey situation that
Which is nice.
is really nice to have that option when you're traveling, because sometimes you don't need all of this.
Yeah.
But this is really convenient when you're on an airplane and anywhere with kids.
Well, and I like to keep mine packed. So I leave the few things, Tylenol, ibuprofen,
Yep.
Band-Aids. I have a couple kids that get motion sickness. I'll just leave some of that stuff. And I don't really ever take it out. I just replenish it. If I use it all on a trip, I make a note in my phone, and then I go home and I just re-add it all in there, and it stays packed, which I love anything that stays packed that saves me time.
So I have this little pouch that kind of like Jen stays in there. This is my favorite thing because it's got Chrissy actually gave this
dental
to me.
floss.
Dental floss.
You had better not be caught without dental floss.
No.
This is an
There's actually
emergency
two.
situation.
There's a little Hall's cough drop.
I don't have.
You always need one. This is in there. It wasn't, but it is. It's a triple antibiotic ointment. And this is the other thing that's always in there. Are my little.
You can wipe on with your dental floss.
Yep. And then my headphones, which this is the backup pair of headphones. So this isn't my favorite pair, but sometimes we always lose them, and I
That's
need to
so
find
random.
them.
The things you have in that pouch.
And I have 50 cents because you might need it.
I don't think you need this exact.
No,
pouch.
you don't. You don't need these exact
What
pouch.
is weird stuff in there? Dental floss and headphones.
And there's usually a chapstick in there too, but that somebody
Chopstick I
took
can
that.
wrap my head around.
But it doesn't have to be that pouch.
That's your emergency pouch.
But that's the pouch I like. Those are the things
If
I
your
like.
car is headed into a body of water and you need to get it out, you can wrap the dental floss around it.
No, it's for when you're sitting on the airplane and you eat
And you wanna
something
floss.
and you've got it stuck in your tooth and you're gonna be there for 10 hours and that is super obnoxious.
Hey,
and you have to
Christy, yeah, just pulled out these brush your teeth things that were fabulous.
yes, those are really good too.
So I think I'm gonna choose those little things over.
Well, I might add that to my pouch and I'll have
You
the brush
should.
your teeth
And
the
then you
dental
can floss afterward. Leilani's got a very clean teeth.
I do have clean teeth. I hate dirty teeth. They drive me crazy.
I know, I'm not that surprised.
So anyway, point is backpack, things
Packed.
that you really like to have
Yes.
ready to go.
Yes.
I don't care what they are.
And I'm excited. I actually have a couple things that I'm gonna try on my trip to Asia. I ordered this really, really lightweight blanket that claims that it will keep you warm better than a big fluffy one. My kids try to shove their giant blankets in their bags and then there's no room for anything. So I ordered these blankets and we are gonna test them out. So I'm excited to see if they really are as
I'm
warm
curious about
because they're little. They're like this big. So they would be something I would stick in my backpack and leave.
I do have my Goosebumps blanket in here generally as well.
Yeah, this one's even
That's my
tinier than
favorite.
that, so we'll see. I have a couple things like that. I bought a new first aid kit, just things like that that I'm gonna shove in my bag this time and see
I
how
always
they
put
go.
my water bottle on the side because you can refill those in airports.
And next week, I will bring my whole, it's still getting put together, but I've been putting together everything that I travel with. So some charcoal, things like that we find are essential to travel, especially overseas with where the food's really different. So we'll see.
Stay tuned.
Hi,
So we'd love
friends.
to know what's in your backpack. We'd love to know what are like
Or your
3
travel
items
bag,
that you
whatever you have.
have to have with you because we're always curious. We have ours, but there might be others,
Yeah, what if you know something that we don't know?
which is quite possible.
Although Leilani knows a lot. Did you know?
I know useless random facts about silly things, so I don't know everything.
Some of them
not
are
even close.
actually pretty useful, not just
Occasionally,
useless.
once in a while. Look up California road trip coming up tonight on the blog, and then stay tuned for next week. With
And then,
Jen.
hey, Arizona has October break coming up, so tell us where you're going because we're excited to know where everybody's headed.
Yes, super excited to know where everybody's. Oh, hand
Ooh,
sanitizer.
That
Yes.
must. And I actually have disinfectant wipes. My littlest one has some health issues, concerns. So when we go the plane, I disinfect his entire seat area. So those are something that I always have a good couple packs of in my
Yeah,
thing
hand
too.
sanitizer. We always have. I'm sure there's one in here. This bag has been. It didn't get unpacked when I came home from Disneyland yet. So.
All right, we love you, friends. Thanks for tuning in on us.
Hey, have a good Monday.
Happy Monday. Here's that part where I'm going to try to do this, and it's going to take forever. Okay, ready?